been talking with Jodi Owens, Repel Diabetes Learning Center Coordinator. And Jodi, you were mentioning that over at the center. Would you tell folks where that is and how they can reach you?
Sure. We are on the hospital campus here in Mountain Home with BRMC. We're across from the emergency room entrance there, the hospital, the big red emergency sign. And there's a large parking lot over across from that entrance there that we have. The hospital actually has set up some community support houses, and we have the Pikes Cancer House, and then us, the Repel Diabetes Learning Center, the Murak Family Center on Aging, Education
Center on Aging.
The Fairlamb Clinic is down there, and then also the Schliemann Center. And it's just that back row of houses on the back of that parking lot. We're number 2, right up from the top of the hill there, and there are designated signs out front for everybody, and so it's fairly easy to find. And I think that being part of the hospital, but also being over there sort of in the, it's a residential area, and it's kind of neat, and it's kind of nice to have those community support houses all together like that.
You
so
bet.
we can definitely, you know, utilize the other resources. I know I send a lot of folks over to talk with Nancy down at the Fairlamb Clinic. We have a lot of, we share a lot of patients back and forth. And then Debbie, and also with Regina and Whitney, you know, with the other issues, if a person is actually having other specifics. It's just so nice to have all of those rows, all those houses right there together on the same row. And our phone number there at the Repel Center is 508-1765. We are open to the public for classes. We have diabetes classes, self-management classes. We see patients with type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, which is a pregnancy form of diabetes. So just all areas, and we try to leave no stone unturned when it comes to diabetes. And then also walk-ins. You know, we have a lot of folks that are new to the area, or that maybe are having some problems with either getting supplies or getting, you know, tapped into a pharmacy or a place that's convenient for them to get their supplies. And so we have the resources and the outlets there for that as well. We try to work as specific as we can with each patient based on what their doctor has set forth for them.
They do need a doctor's referral to get into the classes.
And that is very, I mean, it's a very important aspect, and it's a little bit different of a dynamic, because not only do we teach folks about diabetes, but everybody's individual goals are going to be different, and they're going to be set forth, and the medicines are going to be prescribed by the physician. So it's very important for us to work with the physician. And that's where that referral comes in, you know, the doctor. And we're more than happy to help somebody get that going if they need the paperwork. I say, you know, Leslie, our office manager, does a great job. She helps take care of all the ins and outs and all the paperwork on the back side of things. But that's the goal there, is to kind of bring in a team, and the team approach to taking care of the person's needs with their diabetes, but then also if they have, you know, they may have some issues with arthritis, or they may have some issues with another healthcare problem that is going to be incorporated into their diabetes care, and what they can do and what they're able to do. They may be on other medications that are interacting with some of the foods that they're eating. And so that's where I think it's so, we were talking earlier about Jan and the nutrition and the dietetics aspect of what she does. Because she really does get down to the science of the food.
And these are all professionals. Everyone you've mentioned today has their own area of specialty, and that they can bring all of these resources together on that patient's behalf. I mean, you can. The resources amaze me what you have available, and those are really neat. Those are all free.
It is. It's
walk through the door, and
it's so amazing, and it never. I'm never surprised when I walk in to meet a group or to talk to a group of folks. And there's still so many people that don't know about the resources that are available with our hospital, and that's what I think is so amazing, and why I come on your TV show, and why we talk about the houses so much, because when I go out to these community events, or we recently did the health fair here, and I still meet people and think, gosh, I just, it's like I can't do enough, and I can't get the word out enough that we're there to help and we're available. A lot of things are changing right now with the healthcare reform for my diabetes patients.
The Affordable Care Act, I'm sure
that has made an impact on, actually starting yesterday, July 1st, the level and the availability of getting diabetes testing supplies and also other medical equipment. And so I encourage you, if you have questions or you're having problems, you know, we may not have the answer or the solution right then, but we will definitely work to help you find that, because it's tough. And when a lot of the patients that were receiving services from mail order companies stopped receiving those services all of a sudden, it's going to be a really tough transition a lot of times for people. So we try to find the best situations and make it as easy as we can. Diabetes should never control a patient. A patient should always feel like they have control over their diabetes.
What a great way to put it.
And that
Absolutely.
It shouldn't be, as problematic as it is, it shouldn't be yet another burden to try to have to round up your supplies or get what you need. And we don't always have the supplies there at the office or at the center. We are based on what we have available, but we can certainly help people with the resources. And that, I think that is where folks don't realize, you know, yes, you can claim these things on your insurance, or you can get these things locally here in Mountain Home, and so we have some good resources for that as well.
And we're all in healthcare trying to stay ahead of the Affordable Care Act.
Oh, I know. And
trying to understand it. We kind of need a roadmap. The roadmap keeps zigging off different directions.
Oh, I know. So. And the hospital, I think, is doing such a great job, you know, here in small town Arkansas, keeping up with things, and that's what people need to realize. We've been ready for this, and we've been preparing for this.
Wonderful.
Just to make sure that we're able to do what we need to do to still take care of people like we always have. And I think that's very important, you know, and being at the hospital now for a while, and also being at the Diabetes Center now. I've been 3 years now I've been over at the Diabetes Center, so it doesn't seem like that long, but just seeing the changes even in that short time, it's phenomenal. It's amazing, and people are struggling. And so I say, let us help in any way that we can, and let us take some of that off of your plate for you.
And you've been expanding. I know you did recently something out in Horseshoe Bend.
We did. We had a program here in town a few months ago, and then we followed that with a repeat of that program over at the Horseshoe Bend Methodist Church over there. They were very gracious to let us have that. We're going to have another program in the fall in Marion County. Our date and our place is still being determined right now, but look for those things, and I'm sure with your graciousness I'll be able to come back and tell folks when that's going to be and where we're going to have that. The programs that we've been putting on this year are kind of bringing everybody kind of back to some of those basic ideas and getting back down to just the healthier eating, the small things that make a difference, the small amounts of activity and exercise. And even if a person is not an athlete or not someone that goes out and does a lot of activity, what can we do to help? And we partnered with the National Institute on Aging, getting some DVDs and some booklets and some other things that were really helpful, and those are all provided free. We've even Jan put together a cookbook, not only with carb and fat and information about those types of things, but also Heart Smart. I know everybody is always looking to be more cautious with their heart, and that's very important as well. And so just all those resources that we have available, and we hope to continue. We're calling it The Good Life with Diabetes. So if you see things about that in the future, you'll know that that's us, and that we are out there getting that education out there.
And that's wonderful.
Yes.
Absolutely wonderful, Jodi, because it's so necessary.
Sure.
We're seeing more and more people with diabetes, which we've talked about before on other shows, which ties in with our obesity rates.
It can,
and
so many different health issues. Regardless, you know, with blood sugar issues, we tend to see folks struggle because it's a day-to-day. It's an everyday, every meal, every conscious thought about, am I making the right choices? Am I doing the right things? Am I keeping my blood sugars at a healthy level? And that's easy to get frustrated with, and that's easy to get.
But you're taking a lot of the worry about that out by the education that you're providing.
I hope so.
Jan's cookbook that's there, and I love that, The Good Life.
Yeah, The Good Life with Diabetes, because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away, and unfortunately we don't have a cure yet, but we would like to continue on at a normal, regular pace. It doesn't have to be the end, by any means, the end of the road for anyone. And we all have to eat and enjoy,
Sure.
and that's the best part.
And you've probably
Sure.
got exercises. I know that the one video I had the pleasure of taking a look at was basically walking in place.
Sure.
Others can be done even sitting down.
We've got some chair exercise
Exercise, yeah.
DVDs. We've got some very light walking, very low intensity stuff. So something for everyone, something for encouragement. Oftentimes I hear people say, you know, this was just kind of the boost that I needed, or the kick in the pants
Sure.
that I needed to get things going
no
again.
excuses. It's,
Yeah.
it's your disease.
Yeah.
You control it.
Sure.
Don't let it control you, like you said.
And whatever we can do to help with that.
Yeah.
That's our main mission. So, well, thanks for having me
Well,
today.
thanks for being on this show. I just always love to have you as a guest. You're
Thank you.
just have no energy, Jodi.
I
don't know
know,
what
I'm
to do
sorry.
with you. But please come back as soon as you've got the date set for Marion
Sure.
County, and so we can share that. We've got a lot of viewers over in Marion County that watch the XL7.
And we're
Channel
looking
22.
forward to coming out and doing some education and
All right.
doing some taste testing and some cooking and all kinds of good stuff.
We've got you. There is a portable kitchen that is out of this world that Jan will bring out, and I'm sure you'll have that there.
We're going to have it. Absolutely.
Oh, nothing like tasting what you've just put together, just watched put together.
Sure.
So, all right. Come and see us soon, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us today for BRMC's Healthy Connections, and we will see you again next week. Thanks so much for tuning in.